This is Sangeeta from Medcity International Academy. So, inna nammal promise cheytha pole thanne, this is our second live today. And in the initial live that we had a discussion, we did introduce the good news to you that OET can be taken from home from now. And the dates iduvare declare cheyidilla, but still we had a wonderful question and answer session in the morning regarding what this test is all about. Adinte ningala confusions and questions okke ningal chodichu. Adu Simi ma'amde kude njan irunnu nammal oru discussion adu clarify cheyidu. So further to that, okay, we had also introduced that we at Medcity have an online system where you can practice and get ready and prepare yourself for the OET home based test. So ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ ഡിക്ലെയർ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഓൺലൈനായിട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിലിരുന്ന് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ടെസ്റ്റ് എങ്ങനെ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യാം അതിനുള്ള ഉത്തരം ഓൾറെഡി നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് ഐ സെഡ്, ലൈക്ക് വി ഡിസ്കസ് ഇൻ ദ വീഡിയോ, 6 months മുന്നേ തന്നെ we had developed a software and we were giving our students online training through that particular software, and it had this computer based system, and that is exactly what I'm going to introduce here today. So hi to all who have joined live. You can see a video that is being played here, right? This was a video we had posted on 27th of Jan, if I remember right. So January le nammal post cheyidoru video aanadu, and this video was particularly introducing, or let's say reintroducing, and just giving certain instructions to candidates on how to use it. So many of our candidates were not really familiar with it. So അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒരു വീഡിയോ അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തത്. സോ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ഒരു ലൈവ് സെഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് you can go back to our Facebook page. The link will be shared in the description box for this live as well. You can trace this video. ഈ വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങൾ ഇരുന്ന് കണ്ടാൽ you will have a clear idea of how exactly our online OET test works. And നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ ഇനിയിപ്പം OET ടെസ്റ്റ് ഹോം ബേസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടാണ് അവർ ഇറക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് യു ക്യാൻ സിറ്റ് ഇൻ ദ കംഫർട്ട്സ് ഓഫ് യുവർ ഹോം ആൻഡ് യു ക്യാൻ ഗിവ് യുവർ ടെസ്റ്റ്. സോ ദ റിക്വയർമെൻറ്റ്സ് ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്, എന്തൊക്കെ ആവശ്യം ഉണ്ടാവും, വാട്ട് ആർ ദി ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ, അതൊക്കെ അറിയണമെങ്കിൽ വി ഹാവ് ടു വെയിറ്റ് ഫോർ ഫർദർ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ഫ്രം ദി OET. But for now we know it's going to be computer based. So how is Medcity going to help you prepare? That is what we're going to discuss here. Ee oru live il Medcity can help you prepare for the OET home based test. Adu enganeyanennanu ivide njan onnum koodi discuss cheyan povunne. Okay, so I'm sure that many of you would have already watched this video, and there are many of our students who are already into the practice mode, so they're all aware of what really happens there. അതറിയാത്ത പുതിയതായിട്ട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പുതിയതായിട്ടുള്ള നമ്മുടെ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സ്, നമ്മുടെ വ്യൂവേഴ്സിന് വേണ്ടിയാണ് ഈ ഒരു വീഡിയോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll use the help of this video. I'll play certain parts of it, and I'll also describe and in detail tell you how this whole thing actually works. So ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നത്, it is actually something that you get a username and a password. So basically നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ഒരു കോഴ്സിന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്താൽ, ഓൺലൈൻ OETന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്താൽ, you will be given a username and a password. So using the username and password, you can enter into this particular computerized system that we have. Okay, so you will have a particular portal where you can access your particular domain using the username and password. So ingane oru candidate login aanu ningalku kitta if you register with us. And like I said, the ID, the user ID that we give, and the password that we generate for you. Using that, you can enter this particular system. Okay, so that is what is being played at the background now that you can see. So what I have done here is also I've entered my username and password. So നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ഒരു ഓൺലൈൻ കോഴ്സിന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്താൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ ലോഗിൻ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് കിട്ടും. അത് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രാക്ടീസ് സെഷൻസ് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുക. ഓക്കെ, സോ വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ് വൺസ് യു ലോഗിൻ? You have very interesting stuff here. OET എക്സാം നടക്കുമ്പം ലിസ്ണിംഗ്, റീഡിംഗ്, റൈറ്റിംഗ് എന്നീ ഓർഡറിലാണ് ടെസ്റ്റ് നടക്കുക. ആൻഡ് വി നോ ദീസ് ആർ ഓൾ ടൈം ബൗണ്ട് ടെസ്റ്റ്. So the listening has a stipulated time, the reading test has a particular time, and the writing has a particular time for it, right? So based on that time, we have set this particular system. Okay, so it is going to be a highly time bound test. So the real test practice or let's say the real test scenario is what you can practice when you use our system. Now many students have this problem. Whenever they take an online course, their biggest challenge is managing time. Because when you take an online course, most of the time you're completely free. You can decide when to take up the video, when to watch, when to practice. So there is a high chance that we may end up a little lazy and we may take extra time. We know that writing has 45 minutes and 5 minutes is the reading time and 40 minutes is to write the letter. But if we online course, one challenge could be that we might take extra time to write the letter. In the real test, we are allowed only 40 minutes. But when we practice at home, probably we are a little laid back and casual and we take 1 hour to write the letter, because there is no one actually to monitor you while you write the letter, right? So keeping in mind that challenge is what we have set up this time bound test system for you, which means our stipulated time this test automatically close out. So this is entering into the first exam, which is the listening test. So here there are instructions given for listening. Now you know there are 3 parts, A, B and C. So like a real exam, you are going to listen, you are going to read the instructions given. So you have certain instructions for part A, B and C given, which is what you will initially read. And after you read, what can you do? Okay, so I'll just scroll the video to help you understand better. Okay, so like I said, the instructions are given. So real exam lo ningal aadyam instructions aanu vaayikkan povunathu. So this is not timed, so you can take all the time to read and understand the instructions. But at the far end, there is a button which says start. So once you click the start button, the listening test starts, which is time bound. So our start button amarthiyalana ningala timed aayittulla test thodangan povunathu. Okay, so let's see how this is done here. Once the instructions are read, you have the option to scroll. You can see A, you can see B, you can see C, and only a part of it is displayed on the screen. You have an option, a tab to scroll the entire text, so you can go way down and read the entire instructions before actually entering into the test. So you can see njan ee video lo onu scroll edittu instructions akka vaayichu kayinu. And like I said, a far end le start button click cheyumbom, see, this is the landing page. Okay, so this is how you land onto the listening test. And you can see that there is a time given there. Okay, so 39 minutes 56 seconds. So 40 minutes aanu, but timer already run cheyan thodangirikkunnu. So the moment you enter into the listening test, the timer starts running. Okay, which means you cannot take anything extra or more than 40 minutes to finish your listening test. This is what makes it highly critical and highly helpful when it comes to real exam scenario, because you don't have the whole time onto your hands. You have to abide by the rules. And like you can see, it is divided into 2 sections. We normally face a desktop, right? So when we face the desktop, we have towards the left side the audio clip. You can see a play icon where if you press the play button, the audio plays. Remember, the timer will be running, and to the right you have the set of questions given, and you will see how you can basically scroll the questions as well. So ഇവിടെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ OET home based test നിങ്ങൾക്ക് യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത് ബിഫോർ ഹാൻഡ്. കാരണം you can see the spaces here, you can see the gaps there, right? That's where you'll have to fill in. So if it's a normal pen and paper test, we write down the answers. But in a computer based test, we cannot write. Instead, we will be keying in all the answers. That is, we will type out the answers onto the space. So audio play avuna adhe samayam thanne we can scroll through the questions. You can answer them one by one after reading the instructions. So let's have a look at that. So I'll play the audio also. Listening practice test nu clear ആയി മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. 2 sides ആയിട്ടാണ് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരേ സമയം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ടേപ്പ് കേൾക്കാം question paper answer fill option provide. On the top you have a timer. So out there you can see the countdown. So 39 already are. So 40 minutes to countdown already 35. Okay. So you can see two sections here. Audio play real listening exam answers fill option. Now you can see this is called as a scroll bar. Questions scroll blanks 12 blanks fill. So here instructions timed real test part A timer instructions fill. So play.
The listening part of occupational English test has 3 parts, and each part you hear a number of different extracts. At the beginning of the test, you will hear a beep sound. You have time to...
Okay, so like you can see what I've just shown you in the video that we've already taken and posted on our Facebook and YouTube pages. You can play the audio and at the same time you can fill in the answers. So this is very good practice. It is preparing you for the OET home based test. We already system and software created. We started this almost 6 months ago and we've started already giving our students this particular thing. And familiarize a particular video Jan post. And right now, and I remember during the video saying that, and I also remember when we introduced this, we had a lot of queries from students coming as to why is this done? Because OET pen and paper test, so why should we key in our answers? So adayinu nammade munnil pose edoru question. And at that time, the only answer that we had to give is, we are preparing you for the future. Okay, so if you listen to the audio that we have, okay, that clearly says the same thing. Remember, this is something we had recorded a few months ago. Okay, you can see the timer is still running, so I have to adhere strictly to the time. So as a time out it's like an answer fill. But here we are providing an option of typing out the answers. So in the system that I show you, I need to actually insert a keyboard here. So I need a cursor when I listen to the tape, as I listen to it, I can fill in the answers. Okay, so basically answers type option. So listening section set, which means you can see the timer is still running, so I have to adhere strictly to the time. So OET is actually a pen and paper test. So okay, brilliant system or platform develop, but why have we introduced a system where we need to key in the answers? See, we are preparing you for a lot of things. We know you are health professionals, especially nurses. But in a European country, work and in an English-speaking country, the healthcare setup is completely different. The Indian setup, when you compare it, there are differences in the healthcare system. Everything has to be clearly recorded. So everything is recorded on the system. So this is the answer we had then when questions were asked, why are we doing such a thing when it is actually paper and pen and paper test. We did invest a lot of time and money on developing the system. Okay, back then we were just thinking of preparing you for any odds. In the Vannalum, we knew that this is a highly technologically driven world. We never know, things could change, and our gut feeling turned out to be true. And namkellarku in the press release kittiya polthane any korchu kalathekku at least OET home based test aayirikkum. So here we have a system we created just thinking we should do something different and keep our candidates ready for the future, the answer to today's problem is something we created 6 months back. This is really going to help you out. So, ningalku idile directly join cheyidal, you will be able to access all this and practice keying in. So, morning when we had conducted a discussion, there were questions regarding, isn't keying in difficult? Wouldn't I require computer skills? Definitely you require computer skills, which is exactly why we are providing this platform. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാണ് ഈ ലൈവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് തോന്നിയത്. That is why we are live here today, introducing and reintroducing and familiarizing to you things that we already have to support you. So ഇതിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്താൽ definitely your typing skills സ്പീഡ് ഒക്കെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ആവും. Because time bound ആണ്. As you listen to the audio, you're going to type out your answers as well. Of course, this is very important. Keying in your answer or typing in the answer becomes important in part A. Kannur B and C, you have to choose the answers out of the option. So you really don't have to type, but you still have to listen to the audio. Okay? So that's about listening. So let's scroll through the video, and which I had taken long back, and see if we can reach the next section. Okay? Alright, so this is the, oops. Okay. So this is the next section where you have to choose answers from the option. So you have 3 options given, and as you're listening to the tape, so if the question says, which of the following diseases develop fatty acid deposits? And you have 3 options given there. So you just have to click on the option, select it. That is how you circle the MCQ, the multiple choice question. So part B and C are set in the similar way. So it is very, it is the OET pattern, just that the whole thing is computerized or computer based. Adana ivide difference varunathu. Okay, so this is, you will not have any surprises on the day of taking the test, because this system vechu ningal already well prepared aanu. So ningal any oru real OET home based test edukumbam ningal already practice cheyidonde ningalku already ariyam endana nadakka. So there are no surprises, and you will be able to perform and deliver your best because you've done sufficient practice. So this is the end of the reading section. So nammal full 40 minutes la kayinjal, and even if we didn't finish, by the end of the 40 minutes the test will stop on its own and it will go on to the next, which is the reading. So listening kayinjal reading on a test. So that is what this page is. That's the end of the listening test. So you have to press next and go to the second section, which is the reading. So let's see how the reading is set. See, as you can see in the video, there is a passage that is given here, part A of reading, where you have 4 texts, short texts, A, B, C, D. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ഏത് സമയം വേണമെങ്കിൽ സ്ക്രോൾ ചെയ്ത് വായിക്കാം. ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് എ പേപ്പർ ബേസ്ഡ് ടെസ്റ്റ് where you turn the pages probably. You just have to scroll here to have access to the different texts A, B, C and D. And at the same time you have the questions there. This page shows you questions from 1 to 7, and if you scroll through the section also, you can find all the 20 questions there. Okay, so you have to read the passage, type in the answer, read it, scroll it, type in the answer. And you know spellings are important when it comes to reading, so make sure when you type your answer you refer the section of the passage and you ensure that your spellings are absolutely correct. Again, the reading section is also time bound. You can see the timer is running. So oro section കഴിയുമ്പോഴും our entire reading test timed ആണ്. So you can move from part A to B to C, and the time will finish on the dot. Okay, so അതേപോലെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ ടൈംഡ് ആയിട്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു reading section ഉള്ളത്. So this is about reading, okay, and I've seen comments, but they're all like, wow, good, thank you. So I am not able to access probably genuine queries. I suppose this is quite clear, and if you feel no, you can always watch back, play back our live video. You can go back to this previous video which we already have on our Facebook and YouTube pages and watch it again so that you get a clear idea. Okay, all right, so idana reading section. This is part A of reading, and let's say part B and C. See the multiple choice. So this is part B. You have the short text, one text the question to that, and you have to choose from the 3 options given. So isn't this exactly what you do on a paper based test? The only thing is you have to get used to scrolling the text, reading on the screen, and then finding out the answer. Okay, so then you go to next, you go to the second question. So you every time have an option of going to next and getting back to that, to the next question and finding the answer for it. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is part reading part. You have part A, you have part B, and then you have part C. So after listening, after reading, the third test on the row is writing. So we'll see how we have set the writing test. That will really definitely help you when you're preparing for your OET home based test. So let me scroll this a little further so that I can show you. Yeah, so the reading test is successfully completed. I still have 13 seconds remaining, but I'm already done with my reading test. Okay, so now I have the option to go to the writing test. Go to the writing test. If I click go, I take myself to the last test in the row, which is the writing. So this is how the writing test is set up for you guys. You have the case notes to the left and you have space for writing towards the right. Now there is something very interesting. We know 45 minutes. We know the first 5 minutes is only for reading, and in a real OET test you are not allowed to take your pen and paper, and you cannot underline, you cannot make notes. So similarly, you will not be able to start typing until the first 5 minutes is over. Okay, the reading time 5 minutes കഴിഞ്ഞാലും മാത്രമേ you have the option of typing out the answer. So you can see the reading time. Okay, so the timer is running, which shows how much time you have to read. So it's highly helpful because in OET test you don't have to look at a wall clock, you don't have to refer your watch. The timer is already set there. Okay, so it will really help you. You don't have to be tense. You can see the countdown there. Accordingly, you can scroll through the case notes and decide, okay, what I'm going to write, what is the task all about, who is my reader. എല്ലാം ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന 5 minutes ടൈമറാണ് അവിടെ കൗണ്ട്ഡൗൺ ആയിട്ട് കാണിക്കുന്നത്. So let's see what happens after the 5 minutes countdown. Okay, all right. Okay, let me take you guys a little further. 1 minute 15 seconds is what the timer shows. Okay, 25 seconds. It's still running. You see, 5 minutes is a real long time. That will help you prepare and sort out the notes, organize the letter that you want to write, and then be ready to actually get into the war mode. That is typing out your entire letter. 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you will have the, so now you can start writing your letter. So you can see 40 minutes is the timer now. So you have the entire 40 minutes to start typing here, and depending on how you write a letter, beginning with the address, the salutation, the reference, the purpose paragraph and the remaining paragraphs, you can type by using the keyboard. So this is our introduction. Okay, so this is our introduction to the wonderful computerized OET test that we have already prepared for your benefit. So you can enroll with us and use our online OET course to have access to this material. And if you practice with this, definitely taking the OET home based test will be very, very easy. I am not sure if you have any more queries. If yes, we are already available always. So I guess there is a comment I am not able to trace. Anyone there have a question to ask me? Questions, can somebody read it out to me? Probably not able to trace it. Okay, so all excited comments and faces, all comments that show you're really ready to take on the practice, to be ready for the OET home based test. That's interesting. Okay, Okay, so there is a message that I can read, and okay, Britty K Joy, now her question is, okay, one question she asked is it possible to complete reading part A within 15 minutes? Yes, like the real paper based test, you just have 15 minutes for your part A. This is also a time bound test, so you should be able to finish it with practice, definitely, because part A you have to type in the answers. Spellings are important there, so typing speed is very different from writing speed. So if you're somebody who's not used to typing very often, of course we are all familiar with it because we have smartphones where we type in messages, but computer typing is slightly different from that. So if you don't have sufficient practice, you need to make sure you practice enough. There's another question by Gigi Thomas. Now the question is, can we rewrite the answer, or is the answer a one-time response? Well, if it's a multiple choice question, you always have the option of selecting another option. So whichever you click on, actually that will be selected. So if you feel that is not the answer, the option, there are three options, A, B, C. Initially you clicked on C, but then you think no, it isn't C, it should be A. You have an option of clicking on A, and that becomes a chosen answer. So until and unless you go to next and you give a end to the test, you have the option of correcting your answers. Even if it's a typed out answer, you can always scroll back, take the cursor to that particular answer, then you can erase it and you have an option of typing out a fresh answer. So that is possible. So there is a question that Vinitha has asked, is it mandatory computerized test? Well, it is not mandatory, but as we all know, due to the COVID pandemic, most of the tests, centers and dates have been cancelled for the last 2 months, and we don't know when the next test center will actually operate. Probably there would be, out of the 10 centers we have, maybe 1 or 2 will function. Maybe these will not function for a long time. We have no idea. And OET is an international test, and it's not only about India, it's not only about Kerala, it's about the entire world. Until everything clears off across the world, operating test centers everywhere will be quite difficult and challenging. So we never know how long this computerized test will run. Will it run forever? We are not sure. But all we can do is we can prepare for all odds. We can prepare for the worst. So what is wrong in preparing yourself for a computerized test? Because in case if the computerized test is lifted and it comes back to a pen and paper test, there is no worry because you're already used to it. Yeah. So there is no harm in practicing a new skill, because that is what being prepared is all about. So I don't think that it is mandatory as such. You can always choose to wait until COVID is declared clear across the world, and until pen and paper test comes back to all centers. You can wait, that is your choice. But if you don't want to wait and you need to give an exam soon, you can opt for a computerized home based test. Okay, so Ria Umachan, okay, she has asked, how is speaking? Well, even in our online system and even in OET home based test, speaking will be a conference exam. Conference as in you will have to be in front of a system with a webcam, of course, and you will have the interlocutor on the other side of the system, and you have to do a face-to-face conversation. So what are the requirements of the system? Okay, what is the bandwidth required for the internet? Is a headphone accepted? Is it not allowed? Should you use a mic instead? Now those things we'll have to wait for instructions from the OET, but it's going to be a face-to-face test like the real speaking happens, but the only difference is you will be facing a camera, but you can at the same time see the interlocutor also. So it's very much like the normal face-to-face speaking test, but the big difference is you will be actually facing a screen, but you have the person there on the screen with you. Okay, so that is I think the answer to Ria's question. Well, very interesting comments coming up. Thank you for showing up live, that we've got an opportunity to introduce this, because we want many of the candidates to use the facilities we have so that they can realize their dreams of working in a foreign country way earlier. Because of a pandemic, their dreams should not be shattered, or they shouldn't be a stop to their dreams or their goals. Okay, that is what we are all trying to do. So Margaret has asked, actually I've deferred my test day to June 13. If the system starts from late June, should I defer my, okay, regarding deferring your date and you need to pay anything extra, you don't have to pay. We will have to wait for official confirmation from the OET. So until then, we cannot actually comment, because it completely depends on what they decide. Okay, so Margaret, we'll have to wait for any kind of official information from the OET regarding deferring of dates or anything of that sort. Just keep your eyes and ears open. Look up on our Facebook page, because if there is anything, we always make it a point to either come live or post something about it, an information, an image that will give you the details required. So keep tracking our FB page regularly. Okay, is this only available? Okay, so Hiran Baby has asked, is this, I guess this system, is it only available for online students? Of course, you have to enroll with us to be able to access the system. For details regarding whether you can just take the test practice or whether you have to take up the entire online package, you have to contact us on our phone number, which is of course given with all our FB posts. So just contact our number and we'll give you the details of how you can actually enroll for this super system that we already have in place. Okay, so I guess with this, that's the end of the comments that have come up. And I'm so glad that most of you have understood clearly how this works. Of course, when actually using it, you might have many other queries as well. We're always there to answer your questions. You just have to call us, maybe, send us a WhatsApp message, mail us. You can note down this phone number. Okay, that will really help you in contacting for further queries. And the number is 9961 919293. I repeat the number, 9961 919293. So for any queries regarding this, this awesome system that we've developed that will really help you prepare for the OET home-based test, just contact the number given to you. So I guess that's it from us live now. Thank you so much for staying and watching us live, and for the wonderful questions that you've posted, because I'm sure these are queries of many other students as well. So when you post a question here and when we answer it, that is also answering the questions and queries that many others have. So thank you so much. You've always been wonderful audiences, and we will make sure that we come up with new interactive sessions, anything to make your learning experience all the better. Thank you so much, and bye from me now.